Hi, I'm Michelle Beck, the founder of Writing for Wellness. In today's video, we're going to be looking at silencing the inner critic through a Writing for Wellness exercise. This all came about because recently I was having a chat with a friend about our own inner critics and how difficult and paralysing this can be at moments in our lives and how it had affected us. And this got me thinking about how this can be flipped on its head and we can turn a negative into a positive. Now, this can be done in a number of ways. I'm going to be talking about body image and positivity, and I know this can be triggering for some people. And for that reason, I'm going to put some information in the links below about professionals who you can reach out to if this video is triggering. This video is not meant to be triggering, it's meant to help any negative inner critical voices that we hear in our heads. But an example could be you try on a dress and you think, or you get the inner critical voice saying, that doesn't look very good on you, you're not good enough, your bum looks big in that. This is the sort of thing that I'm thinking about. Or your hips look too big. And you can flip that on its head by thinking, well, what are your hips good at? What have your hips provided you with? Think about it. You need your hips to walk every day. You need your hips to run. You need your hips to jump. Maybe you've given birth to a child and your hips seriously aided you through that. So it's about flipping things on the head and thinking what bad can become good. And if the inner critic isn't aiding you or empowering you to change, then what good is it serving you? None at all. And this can be seen in relation to behaviours or your personality. So maybe you get mad in certain circumstances and that produces a behaviour in you, or maybe you feel guilty for absolutely nothing at all. These are things that can be flipped from a negative to a positive. Again, I'm aware that some behavioural personality issues or the mention of it can be triggering for some people, and it's not within our control. So for that reason, I just have to say that I'm going to put some information in the links below for professionals that you can reach out to if you're feeling triggered. I'm not a therapist, so these are just Writing for Wellness exercises to help aid you. So to give you an example of what I mean and how we can make this into a Writing for Wellness exercise, I'm going to think about my inner critic in particular. And my inner critic has a very specific phrase that it likes to say to me, and it says, you're not good enough. So, for example, I might think, oh, I'll sit down and write a poem, and this inner critic will say, why? Why are you bothering? Who's it for? What's the point? You're not good enough. Or I may think, oh, I'll go out for a run today. My inner critic will say, why? You're too slow. You're not good enough. And I thought, I'm going to flip that. I'm going to change this narrative. I'm going to make this negative into a positive. So I'm going to take the line, you're not good enough, and change it to you're good enough. And I'm going to do a writing exercise using that line as my inspiration. So I'm just going to take the line, you're good enough, and I'm going to have a go. And yours may be different. Your inner critic may say something different to you, or it may be more than that or less than that. It could be about body, it could be about personality, it could be about anything. And just remember that this, you don't need to share this. This can be something that's personal and private to you. So let's have 2-3 minutes of a free write and see what we're able to produce. Okay, I'm going to write now. You're good enough. You were good enough to learn to walk, good enough to learn to talk, to smile and welcome strangers with your eyes. Eyes that have seen deaths and many rebirths. You were good enough to learn to read and lose yourself in dreams. You were good enough to birth a child, screwed yourself up in knots of labour, cried, rejoiced and screamed. You were good enough. You are good enough to walk aside anyone, good enough to smile with those eyes once more, and good enough to know it's only you that's keeping the score. This is quite an unusual one for me to do because I don't normally rhyme, and there's lots of rhyme in there. But I must admit, it felt really empowering to write, and I felt my mood lift as I was writing these things down, because I can reflect and think, yeah, at some point in my life I've been good enough to do this, I've been good enough to do this, and I'm still good enough to do those things and more. And it's a really uplifting thing to do if you're feeling like that inner critic's there and it's preventing you from doing things. And I'm not undermining individual people's struggles. I know that some days it's everything just to get out of bed. So I'm not suggesting that this is everything that you need, but I am suggesting that some days this could lift your mood like it has done with me. I'd love, love, love to know what you've done in this exercise. Even if you don't feel like sharing because it's too personal, maybe little snippets of information, or saying how, if it improved your day, if it worked for you, or maybe you feel really brave and you feel like you'd be able to share it with me. Please put it in the comments below, or reach out via my website, which is in the link. Send me an email. Would love to know how you've got on with this exercise. Good luck. Hi, I'm Michelle Beck. I'm the founder of Writing for Wellness. If you would like to be kept up to date with the latest Writing for Wellness exercises and how it can help you, then like and subscribe. My website and social media handles are down below. If you like what I do and how I do it, then please consider donating. The donate button is also below, as I put out all this social media content for free because I wholeheartedly endorse the benefits of writing for wellness and believe that it should be available and accessible for all.